Hey everyone, this is Sister Crystal here with Let's Talk Classic Hip Hop. This is just my humble opinion on some of the songs that people are sleeping on. Just really great songs that, go back and get the album and listen to them and just kind of really appreciate what they've brought to hip hop. And then I just love pictures too, so I just add the pictures on here. But as you can see, that's them at Woodstock. And the first song that people sleep on from Salt N Pepa, in my opinion, is called Groove Me. Groove Me is from their fourth album, Very Necessary album. This, I don't believe they officially released Groove Me as a single, but what I like about Groove Me is, and besides the groove, very, very nice up-tempo kind of R&B / hip hop reggae type feel to it. But what got me is the song is like kind of naughty. And you listen to the lyrics, it's got some really racy lyrics in the song. And honestly, I hadn't really noticed it until recently, because you know how you listen with your feet instead of your ears, really listening to the lyrics. But I consider Groove Me the precursor to Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, and a lot of the other female rappers that came after them that kind of are known for racy lyrics. Now, Lil' Kim, both Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown are known for their racy lyrics. And not so much Salt N Pepa, even though their big breakout hit was Push It, and it had like a double meaning to it. They weren't really known as like really racy in their lyrics, but this particular song, Groove Me, I would just give you a couple of the lyrics on here, and once I read it, I'm like, oh my God, y'all kind of freaky on here. Okay, so on here it says, "You're under my control, I got your heart and soul. Go down and take your time. I want you deep inside." It's like, okay. So, this came out in 93. The rest of the women that I'm telling you about, Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim, they came out much later. But in so many words, they're one of the first women that I noticed talking about, going down on women. And back then, that really was a taboo topic. You really didn't talk about, that sort of thing. So for them to kind of, put that in a song and talk about, women, they get their opportunity to, get pleased too, just like the guys. And so that's one of the earliest songs that I've noticed from a female rapper or female rap group or solo that even talks about that, So the next one, Heaven and Hell from Very Necessary album. And like I said, that was, I believe Very Necessary was their their biggest hit as far as album sales. I think they sold, out of all of them, I think most of their albums, they released 5. Most of them either went gold or platinum, and this one went multi-platinum. But Heaven and Hell is the next slept on song. Now, they did release this song from the Very Necessary album. This was their final single on here. But in Heaven and Hell, there's some lyrics. Well, the whole song was great. But if you really listen to the lyrics, they're pretty much saying heaven and hell is on earth. That was the overall message of the song. And other message that was also presented in this song is where, I think in one of Salt's lyrics, where she's talking about guys walking around with their pants hanging off their butt and women aren't wearing bras. Now this is 1993. It came out in 94, but they were talking about the issues with, sagging and just the different clothing styles of the youth. They was talking about that then, and fast forward to 2018, we still have that. We still have pants sagging on the ground, women not wearing bras, and women, not women, young girls, teenagers, just scantily clad. And they was talking about that in this song. So I thought that it was a great song, a great message. They had some features, they featured another like female rap duo. I don't remember their name, but they were also featured in there. But yeah, this song, Heaven and Hell, really great message. It's very relevant today, over 20 years later. Still, the message in the song is still very much relevant today. So that's another song that I feel people slept on. And so here, this was Heaven and Hell was part of like a double single that they released. It also had None of Your Business on there. And None of Your Business, I really love. They have so many remixes to that song. But besides the message that I love in None of Your Business, my favorite lyric in there did not come from Salt nor Peppa. My favorite lyric was from Spinderella in None of Your Business. On the part where she says, and I love her voice, the way she rapped it. So Spinderella raps, how many rules am I to break before you understand that your double standards don't mean to me? That's powerful, because she's pretty much summed up in that one line, or in those two lines, that I don't care about your double standards. I'm going to keep breaking them. I'm going to do me. And I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think it's not ladylike or not. I'm going to live my life. So I really love the song. And again, my favorite part was from Spinderella, that line right there. How many rules am I to break before you understand that your double standards don't mean to me? And here I wanted to show this. Okay, so Herbie's Machine was an album that came out in 1988. This is their super producer, Herbie Lovebug. And I actually want to do a feature on him too, because he's been slept on too. He took two nursing students and turned them into the greatest hip-hop group of all time, male or female, in my opinion. Who else can take somebody? Now, I know Peppa already was in the entertainment industry, and she was already like performing and stuff. But Salt, from my understanding, I don't think she had any musical experience before they did the Showstopper back in 1985. But nevertheless, both Salt and Peppa were nursing students, and Herbie was going to a audio recording class or what have you, and needed some rappers for this song that he was working on. He wanted to do he had an idea to do an answer record to Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick's The Show. And he picked both Salt and Peppa. They were working at someplace, I can't think of it right now. Sears. I think they was working at Sears. Nursing students working at Sears, taught them how to rap and, how to change up their voice and all that to make it sound the way you hear them sound now. And had a hit. And this is the back of it. I'm actually looking for this album. I want to add to my collection of classic hip-hop albums. So, and this is one that I'm looking out for also, because they're rare, it's out of print and all that. I know I kind of went off the subject, but my point was Herbie, he really doesn't get the credit that he should for being a great producer, for being able to, he not only was a producer, he did artist development, because what he did for Salt and Peppa, that was artist development. And back then and even now, artist development was a lost thing. Record companies are not developing artists. They don't have time to develop no artists. If you're not already developed, you're not already selling a bunch of records on your own, they don't have time to work with you. Well, not only did he take the time and showed them, it paid off in the long run. So Herbie Lovebug, one of the greatest. I'm not sure where he's at now. I'm not even sure if he's still in the music business, but what he's contributed to hip hop, that's his legacy, and no one can take that away from him. So, yeah. And and here's the group picture with, these were the artists that he was working with. Honestly, I don't know everybody in this picture. The only ones I recognize besides Salt and Pepper and Kid and Play on the end is Sweet Tea right in the middle. Also, the guy that's in the white, that's Herbie Lovebug's brother, Steve O, I believe. That's his name. And Herbie Lovebug is there with the sunglasses and the four-fingered ring. But yeah, he knew how to take, see talent in someone and mold them into superstars. So that's what he did for Salt and Pepper, and much props to him for that. Okay, the next song that people sleep on is called Somebody's Getting on My Nerves. Now, I just found out recently that this is supposedly a response to Roxanne Shanté's Big Mama. Now, if you don't know about Big Mama, go back and Google that. Well, Roxanne Shanté, she just went after every female rapper that was at the top at the time. Either she ripped them up in the song or she mentioned them and pretty much said, her skills was better than all of them that she mentioned. And up until recently, I didn't know that anyone else had responded to the song besides MC Lyte. She had a song called Steady Effin'. And Queen Latifah on a line in, what's her song? I Can't Understand. She just dedicated one line to her. And I forgot. I can't think of it right now. Oh, it goes something like, don't be effing with nobody that's not effing with you, or something like that. And I just thought it was brilliant. It's like she touched on it and she kept it moving. She's like, I don't have to waste the whole song on her. I'm going to say what I got to say and keep it moving. So that was the classic Queen Latifah style. And so other than that, I didn't know anyone else had responded to her. But apparently, after doing some research online, they're saying that Salt's verse on Somebody's Getting on My Nerves was in reference to Roxanne Shanté. And you see on here on the lyrics on here. Okay, so I'm showing that. I don't have to read it. And I'm trying to go to the part. Okay, shorty light skin. Okay, we got this part. Okay, check my platinum album. It's not meant for you to do. Okay, so I'm thinking she's saying, hey, check my platinum album, while Roxanne Shanté was saying that she's better than all these other women rappers. Salt is saying, hey, check my platinum album. Oh, well, you wouldn't know about platinum albums. You don't have one. That's what I get from it. That's where I get what she says. It's not meant for you to do. Now, the only part that I really thought, okay, maybe she's talking about Roxanne Shanté is the part where she puts on here, you even sound whack when you try to check the mic. And it's so funny. She makes this high-pitched sound. It's so goofy. And unfortunately, I like Roxanne Shanté, but when she did that, it was so funny, and I won't do it justice to try to redo it, but it sounds like Roxanne Shanté. It's hilarious. She goes like 1, 2, 1, 2, something real whack, sounding. And I like Roxanne Shante, but it does kind of sound like her. You know, she's one of the female rappers that rap. She didn't change her voice. She raps in her regular voice. So the way Roxanne Shante sounds when she speaks is the way she raps. Whereas with Salt N Pepa and many other female rappers, they actually change their voice. They rap through their diaphragm or from their stomach to kind of put a little more bass in their voice. Same thing with MC Lyte and a lot of your favorite women in rap. Their rap voice is different from their speaking voice. But with Roxanne Shante, she didn't change her voice at all. She raps the same way that she talks. Another thing that I figured that maybe Salt was talking about Roxanne Shante is on the part where it says, you don't work like the two to make hip hop, so you can talk until your big sucking lips pop. So in other words, she's saying, hey, we're putting in the work for hip hop. You're not hardly doing anything. What are you doing? I mean, yeah, you came out with the Answer record and it spawned a lot of different Answer records. And I do believe they're acknowledging, yeah, you were before us, but since then we've picked up the mantle and took it to another level that you couldn't take it to. So that's what I got out of that. But it's very interesting. Now, I would like to hear directly from them to make sure that this is, Salt's verse. And she only dedicated one verse to the Roxanne Shante situation. But I'd really like to hear from her if this really was aimed at Roxanne Shante. I believe it is now after I did some research, but it would be nice to hear it. Either way, down in history, Big Mama, Roxanne Shante named names, and the other people didn't. But you have to kind of look at the time and kind of gauge on seeing whether or not they were really talking about Shante. So I guess this is another song that was an answer to Roxanne Shante. I also think it was brilliant that it was just one verse. And, you know, Peppa's verse was a totally different verse about, a funny verse about some guys trying to pick her up. But I think it was good and clever that they just made it into one verse. And both of them didn't have to come at her just, hey, Salt, you take it, and I'm going to talk about something else. So I thought that was clever. Okay, the next song that I think is really nice is Black's Magic, and it's actually happened to be the title of their third album by the same name. And this song was co-produced by both Salt and Spinderella. It's pretty nice. The message in it, they're talking about police brutality and racism and all that stuff. It's kind of deep. So I really like that. Again, that was just an album track. It wasn't officially released, but I think it's a great song, great message. And the last one, I'm Down. This was the, on what song? I think it looks like it was just the B-side to Chick on the Side. But that song, their delivery is real hard. It kind of reminds you of like a female LL Cool J or something. And I have read some interviews where Salt N Pepa admitted, and they said they were really patterning their style after LL Cool J and Run DMC and some of the male rappers early on in their career. And you can kind of hear it in I'm Down. It's real hard. It sound kind of like a cross between hip hop and rock. And just the whole delivery is just real hard, underground, hardcore, everything. So that's it. It's many more, but I'm gonna leave it at that. So again, the most slept on songs are by Salt N Pepa, Groove Me, Heaven or Hell, None of Your Business, Somebody's Getting on My Nerves, Black's Magic, and I'm Down. Some of the most slept on songs by Salt N Pepa. Great message, really hardcore and everything. So next time I'm gonna delve in more. I will do one on Herbie, and I also want to do one on the Spinderella too. The Spinderella, my favorite one, Dee Dee Roper. Do one on her, and there's another Spinderella too. That was actually the first one, and I'm gonna do something on that too. So, all right then. Thanks for listening, and I will be back with another topic on Let's Talk Classic Hip Hop. Take care.